My name is Nichelle Turner. I am a host and correspondent at Entertainment Tonight. And Freeform is where we in the media look to when we want to gauge what's next, when we want to gauge what's new, we want to gauge what's cool. It's where the stars of today and the superstars of tomorrow are at right now. So it's 2019. Time is still up. Becky apparently is out here buying college degrees. And young adults keep ruining everything.
The idea of people who are disruptive in a positive way is never been more than we are seeing it today.
Yeah.
And I think that, Freeform is leading that, charge in the biggest of ways, and that's why I'm super happy and proud to be a part of this family.
As one of the co-founders of Black Lives Matter, that was the very premise of our organization, and what became a movement was to disrupt what we understood as blackness, disrupt what we understood as right and wrong, and challenge this country in particular, but we argue the world, to confront anti-blackness. This is a crew of folks who have decided that we are going to change this country whether they like it or not.
Yeah, so there were a couple of reasons why it made sense for Sierra and I to be on the producing team. It was a really safe space for us to kind of have access to rooms that we weren't allowed to be in before, but also because we are the age of our characters now, so I think that we were valuable in providing some insight into what it is like to be 24 in Los Angeles and figuring it out.
My background is YouTube, and anything on YouTube goes. There is no producer, there's no director. Bitch, it's you and the camera. I told my story, I came out as a transgender woman, and I felt so empowered by that, and I get told every single day, wow, your story changed my life. And I reach out to other people and say, your story changed my life or my way of thinking. Like even your whole being is so inspiring to me. And this is what, the second time we've met? And I'm like, wow, I'm still really sweating next to this bitch.
Anybody could put any title on anyone, but what does it mean? It's just a word. You know what I mean? You can have so many different professions and people can like really explore almost anything they want.
The idea I think you're saying is that titles are limiting.
Yeah.
That they can sort of be limiting if you allow that to be your singular sort of nomination. Yeah. But at the same time, I do think sometimes understanding having a title creates some sort of clarity and transparency that's important sometimes, but I think the notion of like, why do we have to sort of have it where you're only allowed one thing at a time?
I do have to time and time again tell myself that I'm enough. You're on social media and you just see the highlight reel of like everybody's life and how great everybody's life is, and it makes you feel like you're not doing enough. Am I enough? Is what I did today enough? Am I okay that I'm just like sitting on the couch with my dog and watching Netflix? Like, is that okay? This person's saving lives.
But Instagram is a lie, and we all know that. It's a beautiful lie, and it can also be a healing lie, and you can, when people are really transparent, you have those moments, but most of it is bullshit, and we all know that. We have all posted that picture of ourselves when we were just feeling hungover or shitty or bored or whatever on your couch at home, and you're like, look at my life, and you're like, no, that's actually kind of a lie. So that's why I'm always like, whenever I look at Instagram, you have to remind yourself, you have to ground yourself, where it's like, this is a version of reality. It's not all reality.
One thing I would add is that if you do feel like you're enough and you start to feel complacent and you're like, I've done everything that there is to do, then what you're, I think, really missing and what the world is missing from you is the ability to give a part of yourself. I think that as much as insecurity is really uncomfortable and unsettling, but I think that what that gap between who you are and who you would like to be is really where you actually end up giving the most to the world, and you're really able to make your mark by pushing yourself into that space to become that person.
What's represented on this panel is a bunch of people who were told that you would never be able to get somewhere. And we've had to fight, and still, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah. Even in our own places, fighting to still be where we're at and to be seen in a particular way. And I think that is like that's the bigger fight. Is like, I want to raise my child to know that this is their rightful place. And I think that's what millennials do. We're like, no, we do belong here.
There is a little bit of unearned confidence in millennial culture, to me. You know, I love that you said, I don't feel like that I'm enough to be, or because that leaves so much more room for growth. And I think the idea of the people that I have worked with and loved the most are not afraid to say, I don't know, or I'm not enough. I think that now with Instagram culture, you have so many people who just feel like they're a star. You know what I'm saying? Feel like they've made it. Feel like,
on that.
and I feel like if you've made it, then there's nowhere else to go.
Right.
I feel like that's the part about like millennial culture that I really do appreciate, is that you guys are changing things from the bottom.
Agreed.
And I really appreciate that. And you're seeing so many people learn from what you do, but there are some lessons that I think we can sort of exchange with each other.
I agree.
And really sort of like that's how the best sort of future, lies for us.
Give everybody up here some love, guys.